welcome to the DL Gaming Podcast. I'm Bobby.
I'm Nick.
And I'm even fatter than last week.
Man, I share that pain.
Yeah. I'm going to have to do something about this soon, man. I see myself in the camera. I mean, I feel it all week. I have to pick this up every day. But, then I see my my muffin top. Yeah, it's not good. And then Amanda's not here, unfortunately. She's in Arizona. Or
She is at a Renaissance fair in Phoenix.
There you go.
Yeah.
As one does.
She posted some pics on the Discord.
You ever been to a Ren fair?
Cool.
I've never been to a Renaissance fair. My girlfriend's sister lives next to a park where they constantly do those. So I've seen them, but I have never participated. I don't know if I'd really be that great.
You've seen that great.
Bobby,
you've seen how I am.
Participants in anything aren't graded, Bobby.
No, you've seen how I am in D&D.
Right.
I don't.
Yeah, but Bobby, you can just be like, I don't drink ale. I'm just here. Like that's a medieval villager. That's all they do. They just fucking exist. That's all you have to do.
Sounds pretty exciting.
She looks great. She has
she looks really good.
She has like a lilac dress with like a, what is that called? That
a circlet.
Yeah, that's on her head. But what's the middle part called? I forget what it's called.
Yeah, it's like what I don't know. This is like what weightlifters wear, like that belt or something. But it's not like
the same thing, dude.
No, it's not the same thing.
No, it's a girdle.
It's a belt.
Yeah, it's a girdle.
Okay.
But this is what they wear, weightlifting straps. I don't know, weightlifting belt. Anyway, wow. All right. Want to talk about some video games?
Yeah,
sure.
I suppose.
Yeah,
I guess
that's why we're here. Right
Oh,
now.
by the way, the people in the know, the people that go, they call them Ren fairs, dude. And if you're really in, it's a Renfa.
a Renfa
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just made that up. I have no idea. It's definitely a Ren fair.
or LARPing, right?
LARPing.
LARPing.
I feel like
it's when
LARPing
like
actually
stuff.
happened for like a couple years, but it was such a ridiculous thing that the idea of it has outlived the actual playing of it. There's probably still some motherfuckers out there doing it, huh?
Nah, dude, there's hella people that still LARP. Like, there's a LARPing convention over here in between South Carolina and North Carolina. I only know that because we almost went to the North Carolina Ren Fair, which is the biggest one on the East Coast, in the South. And it's like 2 weekends long, and we didn't end up going because of COVID and stuff. But
have you guys had mead?
No.
Anybody?
What's that?
Mead?
Mead? Yes, I've had mead. I've had mead made like a small batch mead, and then I've had like the processed stuff that's like made by mega corporations.
So is it like super sweet beer?
You pretty much, yeah. It's kind of less bubbly.
Honey flavored, less bubbly beer.
It's more like wine, the one that I had.
Whoa.
I was like, this isn't beer. It's sweet wine.
Yeah, it's pretty much. You can get spiced meads, and you can get meads that are spiced enough so where you don't really taste the sweetness that much. Just when next time you go to the liquor store, it look like a bottle that's made out of stone and that has just like runes on it. You'll find it. They're everywhere.
All right. Cool.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk about some games on the radar, games that have come to our attention recently. I'm going to start it off with Final Fantasy VI. So this kind of came up before. Final Fantasy VI in the U.S. was released as Final Fantasy III. And I remember when they announced this new pack of Final Fantasy games, I guess, so it's kind of confusing because Final Fantasy VI has already been released on Steam. I bought it for like $15 years ago, but it is the version that was on mobile. So they've changed a lot of the graphics, the way the characters look. It's not quite as pixelated like it was on the Super Nintendo. They've also changed some of the dialogue in it. Like I noticed, I played Final Fantasy III so much that I noticed like changes in dialogue, which is funny because I am not a Final Fantasy I'm not into the Final Fantasy games at all, and yet 3 was like this huge part of my gaming experience.
Wait, Bobby, I'm confused. So how could you know that the dialogue's changed in this one if you haven't played it?
No, I'm talking about the one that was released a couple years ago.
Oh, on Steam.
Yeah, the mobile. Version
it had changed from the NES one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Now this version, the one that's coming out, is supposed to be a lot closer to the actual version. And they're doing this for all the Final Fantasies. You can buy the entire pack, I think, for like $75 for a bundle price. This one alone, I think, is 15 or 20. I think 15 on sale. But I don't know. I don't think I would really buy this because I already have the other one, and I honestly didn't mind the changes so much. I don't know. People got really upset about it, and I didn't really see what the big deal was, but who knows? And you can also always just fire up the emulator and play this game too, which I've done in the past. But the reason I want to bring this game up is that I've really got to finish this. I have twice in maybe the last 5 or 6 years, I've started playing this game and made it about halfway through. Once on an emulator, and then the other time on the version that was released a couple years ago. But it's a super long game.
Are we talking like 80 hours, or is that didn't start until like Final Fantasy VII?
No, it's not that long. I want to say it really flexes depending on how you go about doing things. Like you could probably speed run the entire game in 20 hours, I think, maybe a little less. But
Whoa,
I think I think for most people it would probably take at least 30. I know I think I'm at about 15 hours, maybe a little bit more, and I'm about halfway through on my playthrough. The problem is, like, I get so particular about getting every little thing on this game that I don't just like relax and enjoy it. So I think that's why I stopped playing it. But yeah, I loved this game. I wish I could. I've tried to get into other Final Fantasy games and just couldn't.
Which ones have you tried, Bobby? Just curious.
7.
Oh my God, you've tried, and it wasn't there for you.
Did you ever try 10?
No, not 10. 7 and Tactics. Is that a game? Does that sound
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Final
Tactics
Fantasy Tactics.
Tactics.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
10 is one of the ones that a lot of people liked, not only because of this for like one of the PlayStation systems, I think it was PS2, that a lot of people found it very fun. It just had a really good story, and a lot of the mechanics were really good.
It's my first time I ever played turn-based tactics.
God, I feel like the first time I ever saw that was a game called Valkyrie. Do you guys remember that game on the PlayStation? I'm sure it's happened before, or there's been other instances.
Maybe if you show me a screenshot.
Yeah, Valkyrie. It was a pretty popular game on the PlayStation maybe 15 years ago. It was a long time ago. But yeah, God, like I have such nostalgia for this game. But yeah,
So that's
Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VI / really Final Fantasy 3, but really Final Fantasy 6. Chris, can you please put the DualSense controller on my highlights? I just remembered.
So let me bring this up. I forgot to put this. I mean, like to bring this up before we talked about this. I mean, talked about the show. Did you guys see that there was a 40 gig patch for Cyberpunk?
Holy shit!
Well, I saw them advertising it on Steam, the 1.5 patch, and it's also on sale for $30 right now.
Yeah, so it's absolutely insane as far as like how much they added to the consoles and stuff. As far as the PC pretty much got everything. There's some new guns, some new attachments, but really a lot of the stuff was quality of life. Like for example, one of the things that a lot of people saw that happened was that when you got into combat, all the NPCs behind you would just disappear. Like all the civilians. And so now that doesn't happen. And then some of them will just start shooting at you. Cars will not just let you steal them and stuff. Essentially, there's just been a huge overhaul to the game. There's been new quests added. Some quests have been modified. And then one of the things that they also did was that they added some more secrets, as well as they completely gave everyone back their perks, their perk points, because they redid a bunch of the perks and the perk tree.
Nice, man. Yeah, because I remember there was a guy, I watched this thing. He's like, what are these for? There was like perk points for things that weren't in the game. Just like not in the game. It was like you can kind of like creepily open a door, just like halfway, or like just to peek inside. There was a perk point for that, but you can't do it in the game. So like,
you can't perform the action.
Yeah, you can't perform the action, but it was still there. So that's just sloppy, And then they're barely getting to it now. But I'm glad they're working on it. Like, for sure, they are losing money putting this much development into a game that that probably already.
I think they're doing just fine. I was looking at the Steam page for this, and like the currently or the number of people playing, the concurrent number of players was outrageous. I can't remember what it was, but I remember being really surprised. A lot of people are still playing this.
Tons of people fucking bought this, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had a great.
It's for free right now for 5 hours, and so people are trying to beat the game in like one try, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, that's a little difficult because it's a super long story game, but you can buy it. You can play 5 hours for free, so that number is going super high right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, I think it's 50% off.
Yeah, it's $30 right now. So today, the 24-hour peak was 60,000 people playing this game. So yeah, a lot of people playing it for free. But I think we're getting primed for the expansion pack too, because that's coming. They've got the game to what it should have been at launch.
DLCs in this.
Yeah, well, the better the first product, the more they're going to sell the DLCs for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's very expensive to fucking keep up development without, there's no microtransactions. They probably sold 80% of the game, the ones they were going to sell at the very beginning. I mean, I bought like 3 copies. I bought
Jesus.
I bought one for Bobby, one for.
I've been playing off of your account.
Chad. Oh, maybe I didn't buy you one. I bought Chad and did one. The people I care about.
You bought me one. You care about me.
There you go. There you go.
Wow. I'd
no,
love to go
good.
back to this game. I just feel like I need a better graphics card. Like this would be the game I fired up if I were to build a new computer.
Yeah. I had no problems running it. But I was surprised, dude. I got a little bit of lag on fucking Total War. Talk about that later. Or not, kind of, maybe.
I got the same thing, but yeah, we'll talk about it.
So that's Cyberpunk. You guys all know what it is. So Dealer's Life 2, Bobby, this is something maybe up your alley a little bit. It's a simulation game where at first I was like, oh, it's another weed selling game or drug selling game. But no, it's a pawn shop, which sounds fucking fun to kind of like simulate, People put in, people bring in stuff and you obviously fucking lowball them and then upsell it when you sell it. And it's very simple mechanics. It's like yes, no, up and down. That's all there is to it. I mean, there might be other parts, but the wheeling and dealing is literally, I think it's just a numbers game. It's at like 83 right now, 83% on Steam.
That's not bad.
Yeah, some people bring you like broken and or fake items. So I guess there's some inspecting that you have to do. That part of it kind of reminded me of Papers, Please. Because you're just like stationary and people are bringing you shit. So, and then I noticed that some of the, it's like a comical take on this. This is not like hardcore or anything. They're bringing you silly items and stuff. So, just the idea of running a pawn shop, I think.
Yeah, we've seen the shop games before.
Yeah,
but not really a pawn shop.
Yeah,
which is an interesting idea.
It's such a weird little thing that still exists. I went in one time, and I was looking at their prices, and I was like, "What the fuck? Like, this is more expensive than like Walmart or wherever, right?"
Yeah, the markup's crazy, but I think they expect you to haggle.
And then I was like, well, that's not the conclusion I came up with. The conclusion I came up with, this is where drug dealers must buy all their shit because they only have cash, right? So they don't want untraceable stuff.
No paper. Well, dude, you can spend cash at like Best Buy too. So
it's true, but it's traceable.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. If you buy something in cash at like a brick and mortar store, can they really trace it?
Yeah, maybe not. Huh?
And I don't know.
Well, I'm an idiot.
But yeah, God, pawn shops. There used to be pawn shops all over the place in the town that I grew up before they cleaned up the downtown area of it. It was just hookers and pawn shops down there. And I used to go down there and buy my Nintendo games for like $5.
I thought you were going to say hookers.
Thought I was going one direction and I swerved and went the other. Yeah. Yeah. $5 for Nintendo games, man. I thought like, this is insane. That and the swap meets. I'd go to the swap meets Is that like a universal term? Does everyone know what a swap meet
No,
is?
we call it the flea market.
Yeah, I know
The
it
flea
is. We call
market?
it a flea
Yeah.
market, but yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, I know what a swap meet is. I will never forget this for my entire life, dude. I talked to this guy. I forgot what game it was. Talked to this guy, just shit on the ground for a Nintendo cartridge, $5. Right? I go, sweet. Go and bug my mom. She says no. Bug her. You know, as one does, right? Till eventually she breaks down, gives me the $5. I run back, and I was like, "Hey, man, here's the $5." He goes, $7. I was like, "Man, you said it was $5." And he says, "Kid, you gotta strike it while the deal is hot."
Oh my God, dude.
That's what he told me. I will never forget this.
Oh my
I will never
God.
forget this for the rest of my life.
How old were you?
Fuck. I got it when I was 10.
Oh my God, dude.
10, 11, 12.
What fucking weirdo working at a swap meet is like trying to teach a life lesson to a 10-year-old kid? Like, what the fuck is that, dude? Like, looking back at as an adult, you're not like, that's a little fucking weird. Like, like
Gotta strike while the deal's hot, kid. Never forget it.
Sounds
Never
like a
forget
bad
it.
comic book premise.
I got one more swap meet story.
Okay.
So at some point the Chinese goods came in, right? And like there would be Asian people selling like Chinese goods. You could just tell it's cheap, but like
Yeah.
cool stuff, right? Ninja stars, stuff like that. And I'm like, what are you in 6th grade or 5th grade? Fucking around that
it's
age?
5 plus 5, so 10 years old in 5th grade.
Okay, so I was probably like 11, 12. And so I saw this camouflage fucking suit, right? The pants and the jacket. I'm like, Mom, I gotta get that shit. Like, that shit is dope. And it's the cheapest shit ever, right? But she bought it for me. I wore it as much as possible. Like, I thought I was so cool. And it wasn't like green and like that kind. It was like the Arctic one. It was like white, gray, and like dark grays, right? So it looked cool. I looked like a GI Joe, which I had millions of. So I'm wearing this thing as I usually do, and on the morning recess at school, it was really foggy one day, and I go just casually walking up to my friends to just say hi, and I scared the shit out of them. They're like, "Dude, we can't see you at all," and I went. It was the greatest 15 minutes of my life, dude. Walking around scaring the shit out of everybody. It completely worked. Not only was it cool, it completely worked. Nobody could see me.
Oh my God.
A giant Mexican shadow.
Cool stuff at the swap meet. Yeah.
There is.
Cheap Nintendo games. The problem was the cheap Nintendo games were you weren't getting like Super Mario Bros. 3 or like any of the hot new releases. So that's why I played like that. That's how I picked up like Sword and Sorcery and like like Captain Phoenix. What was that stupid plane game? Like all these like games that just weren't very good, and yet like I played them all because those are the ones that were on sale for $5.
Yeah.
So yeah, quantity over
Meanwhile,
quality.
My flea market experience was seeing Pokemon stuff, but it was bootleg, so Pikachu was green.
It does happen.
That's about the extent of it.
Yikes. God, I want to go to a swap meet now.
What was the last thing we talked about? Oh, it's called The Dealer's Life 2.
All right. Nick, what's this Kirby in the Forgotten Land?
So it's I know it's a Switch game, but it's so cute I gotta mention it. So there's a new Kirby game coming out. I think it comes out in March. Nintendo's known for announcing games and then promptly releasing them. So it's a new Kirby adventure where these foxes invade like wherever the fuck Kirby's from. I think it's Dreamland. I think whatever. Regardless, with new Kirby game means new Kirby mechanics, and he has something now called mouthful mode, and you'll see it in the trailer right here. He fills his mouth, and instead of completely eating the object and becoming it, or and like kind of turning into it,
he becomes a shower cap.
He becomes like an exact copy of the item, and so. Yeah, he can like swallow a car and like use the whole car instead of like just being like car Kirby. Like it's hard to explain to listeners, but it's he doesn't just consume the item; he just puts it in his mouth. As weird as that sounds.
Well, usually his thing is he consumes them and takes 1 power from them, right? But now I
Yes.
guess you can eat bigger things and kind of become them.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
kind of turns into.
It's like a possession mechanic.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we keep seeing in the
Kirby's the
trailer here, he
devil.
eats a car and then he kind of becomes the car. He looks like he's become like a cap on the car.
He's a vending machine now.
Yeah. And an hour traffic
yeah.
cone.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool. I've always liked Kirby, the character. Love that Nintendo game. Like that was one of the late Nintendo games. They kept making Nintendo games like almost to the mid 90s, I think. And this is one of the later ones. And it was a really good game for an old system.
Oh, dude, yeah, this is super cute, for sure. All right, I think Emilio's
Yeah,
getting
so this is a must buy for me and Leslie.
yeah,
So
super cool.
I always remember the commercial for this. I can't remember which one it was, but at the end of the commercial, they had some guy do a voiceover line that said, "He's one tough cream puff." I don't know.
What
See if
is
you
it?
can find that on YouTube.
What's
We'll
it
play
called? That's Kirby what?
And the Forgotten
Kirby and the
Land.
Forgotten Lands.
And the Forgotten Lands. There we go. Diplomacy is not an option, Bob.
Yeah, that's the next game here. Diplomacy is not an option. So we talked about this game back in October, and it has recently released. Very cool looking game. It is a tower defense, but also kind of a city builder too, it looks like. So it reminds me of Conan Unconquered, that game where you just, it looks like a 4X game, but what you're really doing is just building a giant fortress and surviving wave after wave of enemies. Although this game looks like it's a lot more silly. It looks like tabs, really, the graphics. And there's just
Almost voxel based.
yeah. Or what they are billions. It kind of looks like that,
Yep.
that type of game.
Jeez, dude.
It's $25, and I don't know, man. This is just looking really good. Not a whole lot of people bought this, but it looks pretty interesting. I mean, there's only 1,200 reviews, and they're pretty positive. It's still in early access, so I don't know. I guess they still got some work to do on it. It's kind of a high price tag, but I don't know. I may check this out next week.
There's a screenshot of maybe 5,000 units attacking a castle, and each one is rendered individually, and then they like drop things on them and explode them, and yeah, you can see the individuals flying through the air. It looks fucking carnage, dude. Crazy, crazy shit.
This game reminds me of like those games that are advertised on mobile.
Yeah,
And
but
like you're like, there's no fucking way there's that many things on the fucking screen on my phone. But like this, if this is the reality of the game, then this is pretty cool.
it does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like what Warhammer wouldn't be able to pull this off with the graphics. That man, you can zoom in on any individual character in Warhammer and be like, you can see, well, there's his nuts right there. Like it's crazy. Anyway,
Turns
trying not to
out
talk about that
demons
game.
have butt cheeks.
They do have butt cheeks. And that was diplomacy is not an option.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Any luck on finding that Kirby trailer? I saw you had some stuff up there, Christian. I don't know. What do we got?
I don't know. I can't find the voice line without sending it to you guys. Do any of these look familiar?
I have no idea, man. It was. Wait.
What
Scroll
was- can you
down.
repeat?
Scroll down.
That purple one, right?
Maybe that one. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have a quick listen.
Who is Kirby?
Oh, we aren't getting any audio here.
Oh.
Oh, this has got to be it, dude. He's flexing with the bodybuilders. Yeah, still not getting any audio.
Damn.
That's unfortunate.
Well, next time.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Well,
it's gonna-
Kirby's Adventure NES commercial. If you want to look it up yourself,
Don't
folks.
worry, guys. It's going to be even more important next week. Somehow.
That's how we're gonna open. It's gonna be Bobby and Emilio acting out the commercial,
I don't know.
and we'll just paint Emilio's stomach pink, and it'll be Kirby.
God, that first Kirby game was so great.
It is. Wow, they really nailed that line. That's one time. Okay, next week. Don't want to spoil.
All right. Next up, we have highlights, games that we did play and have something to say about. I played Nobody Saves the World. This is by the development team that did Guacamelee. I brought it up I don't know, 4 weeks ago. I was a little off about the mechanics. It goes a little deeper than what I thought. It's not. Well, let me talk about what it is. It's an adventure game, top down, kind of like a Link, Link to the Past or something kind of view. A cutesy animation, stuff like that. Anyway, so the mechanics and actually a ton of depth all comes from you changing into different forms. I thought it was a possession mechanic, but it has nothing to do with that. As you level, you unlock different forms that you can turn into. And if each one of those forms has their own skill tree. And as you unlock things in that skill tree, you'll unlock more forms. So it's like a branch, branches and a trunk, a branch, and then twigs, right? So it's just branching in all these directions. So if you really like the ranger, you can keep going into the ranger, but eventually you're going to get to a point where that damage type doesn't do anything. So you start working on other forms. There's a rat, there's a mermaid, there's a bodybuilder, there's all kinds of shit. And you use different abilities in the actual world to get around, like the mermaid swims, and the rat can get through little holes, stuff like that. But the real depth comes in when you start to be able to take abilities from one, like a tail swipe from the mermaid, and put it onto your ranger, because now your ranger can do blunt damage, not just sharp damage. And so and it gets deeper and deeper. The more you branch out, the more options you have, the more complicated it gets, but also the more satisfying it gets. I was having a good time with this. It's just like a cutesy world. It kind of feels like Adventure Time. Yeah, it feels exactly like Adventure Time as far as the world they built. I think the game's great. I need to get back to it. It's free on Game Pass. Like right after I talked about it, of course, it popped out on Game Pass. So, yeah, it's free out there. Strong free recommendation. Strong free recommendation. If you want to buy it on Steam, it's like $29, $25. Kind of pricey, I guess. But there's a lot of depth here. Like, it's deceptive because it looks so simple, but then it gets super deep the more you play it. And you don't even get into the depth until you like your third hour. So I don't know how big. What's the time to beat on this, Chris? I'm just curious right now that I'm spitballing. But yeah, strong recommendation. And I played a very similar game to this, but I'll talk about that a little bit later.
I might actually download. I might download this for Leslie. Like, this looks like straight up her alley. Like all the mixing stuff and the different possessions and stuff.
Yeah, I think she'll like it, man. It's called Nobody Saves the World, and it takes how long?
14 hours, 20
14
minutes.
hours.
14 hours. Yeah, it's a big game, man. It's a big
Damn.
game. Yeah,
It's pretty chunky.
and I'm like 4 hours in, and yeah, it just keeps dishing out stuff, good stuff.
That's crazy. They finally made another game. It's been
Yeah.
so long since we've had a I mean, there was a sequel to Guacamelee.
And completely different. Completely.
Yeah.
One thing I listened back to that episode, which reminded me to talk about this game. But anyway, yeah, 100%. Guacamelee is all jagged edges. Like, it's all like, that's just what it is. And this is all round. It's just a complete departure from what, and then just a different, 100% different mechanics too. Not that you want a developer making the same shit. I'm sure they get tired of doing the same shit. But anyway.
Yeah. Nobody saves the world. Cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
I played ULTRAKILL this week, and this was the game that we kept forgetting the name of. It is like one of the highest rated boomer shooters on Steam, and I can see why. So this game reminds me a lot of Doom 2016. It's just got that really fast-paced kinetic action that's very satisfying and kind of wears on you after a while, though. The graphics are very old school, and it's deceptive because everything else about this game feels very new. The mechanics, there's a lot of movement mechanics, melee, sliding around, all sorts of different guns. but it all feels like a newer game, except the guns. You know, I always talk about this, but I loved guns back in the 90s, like in video games. They're just like, let's have a shotgun that shoots lightning, or, you know, a crossbow, it
Hell
shoots like
yeah.
5 ninja stars or something. They're just like, you know, they're just like, whatever, you know, and now everything's just like, well, this is the M16 with a I don't know guns, man, but you know, it's got like this stock and that barrel and like this. It has to be super realistic, but like back in the 90s, you're just like, nah, fucking crossbow, lightning, ninja stars, whatever. And that's kind of what this game is like. There's one gun where you flip up a coin, and then if you shoot the coin, you automatically get a crit. Like it'll go bing, and it'll like shoot
Oh,
the
that's
coin.
awesome.
Yeah. So you feel like, I don't know, like
The rule of cool.
like some cowboy in a western.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is incredibly frenetic, this game. You race through levels, you get a grade at the end of each level depending on like how much carnage you caused and how cool it was. And it's actually pretty challenging too. Like you can die and restart, no problem, but then, you know, your grade goes down. But I had a pretty tough time with some of the boss fights, and it took me a little while, and I couldn't play this game for long periods of time. Like I had to take breaks. It's not a super long game. I want to say it's like 4 hours or something.
Yeah.
But it feels like a lot. And there's extra content too. The main story is like 4 hours, but there's other stuff you can do in the game to get more life out of it.
Did you play the demo or do you have the full?
No, I played the full version.
Oh, nice.
But it is, I don't know, man. I can see why it's super high rated, but I feel like I have not frenetic with an F, or maybe is it a PH?
No,
I think it's an F.
It's an F.
Oh,
Never heard the word
FRENET, frenetic.
What's that mean?
We're doing a spelling bee now. Yeah.
Oh, a fast and energetic in a wild and uncontrolled way.
Yes.
I learned something new. Thanks, Bobby.
Is that what people like? I feel like you learn that from the teachers, like referring to kids, so they can't just call them like idiot kids.
Frenetic. Yeah, you got to use those $10 words.
Tonight at bedtime, Chris is going to be like, "You ready to get frenetic?" She'll be like, "What?"
Okay.
He just starts breakdancing in the bed.
Yikes. But yeah, I'd recommend this game. It's pretty good. It's just I've kind of realized where I'm at as a gamer. I would have loved this before when I was younger, but now I'm just like, I like the slow old man strategy games. You know, I need time to think and process.
Right.
But it is crazy that this game, it feels so, it looks so different, yet it feels so similar to Doom 2016.
Mm-hmm. So 2 things I'm seeing from the trailer, Bobby. One, it looks like your left hand is doing something independent from your right hand. There's punching, but it also seems like it's throwing shit sometimes.
Yeah, so the punching, if you kill things up close, you can get health back. So you use the punch a lot.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of like it's like in Doom.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I like
and
that
you know,
mechanic.
Doom did the same thing, but on a AAA budget.
Right.
But it's a great idea to just take a look at, hey, what worked in those old 90s games? What do people really like? And let's just boil it down to that.
Yeah.
And not have all this extra stuff. You know, let's just really focus on the fast-paced action. And yeah, it totally works, man. I see why this is so high rated. I definitely recommend this game.
Last question. The verticality in the game. Like, can you just jump super high, or are you doing something to get way up there?
Yeah, I mean, there's like springboards and stuff, but you can jump, wall jump. Yeah, there's verticality in it.
No, I've seen that. I was just wondering what caused it. Like rocket jump. There's just a bunch of it's not just a regular jump that gets you up that high. You got
No, you can jump off the walls, or you can dash and then jump and build momentum and do all sorts of things. And there's there's a shotgun that you reload or you pump it. You pump it a bunch of times, but if you pump it too many times, the next time you fire it, you just basically explode. It explodes in your face. And you can do that maybe one time, but then after that, it's going to kill you. But I don't know. There's a lot of things that I like about this game. The weapon design is really impressive.
Nice, man. Cool.
I feel it, and this is now I want to play this.
Bobby, now I'm gonna talk about a game that you bought me actually, that went on Game Pass the next Day, excuse me. Death's Door. We talked about it a few times. It's you play as a crow in a fantasy setting, and it's an adventure game. Again, another like Zelda. It's almost the exact same view that you have in Nobody Saves the World. It's like a Zelda game, top down, sword, and rolling around. Um, it is a relaxing game. It's an adventure game, but they're not swarming you with a million bad guys. Um, it's very pretty. It's clean. The whole thing's clean. The UI is clean. The look is clean. The combat and the combat is satisfying because there hasn't been one time where I was like, "Oh, I can't believe that hit me." I did this or it didn't do it. Not once. The controls are pixel perfect. The hitboxes are pixel perfect. I've had zero issues. It's probably the best thing in the game. The controls are amazing. Now, I don't know if that's because it's the game or because I've switched to a new controller and I've just joined the new this century in controllers. But no, it does feel because it doesn't feel like Nobody Saves the World. It feels, yeah, super tight, super clean, and then you're just in this weird kind of like. I don't know, like a Nightmare Before Christmas kind of world that has its own thing going on, and you're kind of learning about the world as you go through, if you want, or just don't talk to anybody and just play the games. It's satisfying, calming, relaxing, and enjoyable. Yeah.
So I have like a you mentioned like the clean feeling about the game.
Yeah.
And Bobby, you might know about this. Do you guys think that like programming the clean look is hard to do because of the fact that like you can't just be like I'm going to put this asset in and then it looks clean because if if that were the case it just might look like shitty fucking polygons and stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the devil is in the details, man. I think when you're trying to make something, yeah, they probably put a lot of time into taking out anything that just looks like it doesn't fit or a jagged edge or this or that. Like you could definitely see that they put some fucking time into this game for sure.
Yeah, cool. Death's Door.
Death's Door. Free on Game Pass or just bug Bobby till he buys you one.
This game showed up on a lot of people's like top 10 or top 5s or whatever last year. Kind of interested in this one.
Yep, that's Death's Door. I'll just go right into my DualSense controller because I played it. So I got a program called XSense. It's free. Just download it, and it tricks your computer into thinking that you have a 360 controller. And I thought that was kind of affect. And I was like, why don't I just use my 360 controller? But no, it's a great controller. They're $70. I was starting to think that I was going to have to go with the Xbox controller because of Game Pass, which isn't going to let you. But if I can trick the computer into thinking it, it's worth the difference in price, whether it be. And then, like I said before, I just like the feel of a PlayStation controller more.
Mm-hmm. So when you set this as an Xbox controller, do you have to map buttons?
I don't have to because. Like I'm familiar with all the buttons on an Xbox controller, and it just automatically changes those to. So now whatever the button on the left was, like I know what that is, like Y.
Yeah,
or
but I feel
X.
like there's different. Well, I haven't used any of these newer controllers, but I feel like there's more buttons on this controller than an Xbox one, like trigger buttons or.
Yeah, there's like the new interface buttons. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you can't use any of that. But when you play on Steam, Steam has you don't have to use that other program. Steam recognizes this controller for what it is, and apparently some.
Oh, okay.
And I think very little, but some games on Steam actually use everything that the DualSense can do, haptic feedback and all that stuff. But yeah, that portion in the middle, that blank part, Bobby, that's a touchpad, so you can move around the mouse and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to get us on a tangent here, but I noticed on one of the episodes on Love is Blind, the guy was sitting on his couch playing a video game. Couldn't see the video game. They left it out probably
Right.
for, legal reasons or whatever. But he had one of these controllers.
Yeah, it was a PS5 then for sure. But I started watching it, and yeah, dude, that thing sucks you in like a motherfucker, dude. Like a mother. Jesus Christ, it's so
Which show is
addicting.
it?
Love is
Love
Blind.
is Blind.
Season 2.
We all need to watch the full season and tell people what.
Nick,
our
have you not
thoughts.
seen season 1?
I don't even know what Love is Blind is
Oh my
about.
Oh my
What?
god, dude.
What? Jesus
Where were
Christ.
you?
grab
2 years ago.
grab your woman and start watching tonight. You will not sleep tonight. It's so good. Yeah, but noticeably, the people are way less attractive this season, right?
Yeah, well, they got some criticism last season for not having a diverse enough cast as far as like ethnicity and also sizes.
Oh,
So they definitely had some different people.
I almost felt like they were kind of like, oh yeah, is love actually blind this time? And like, just like everybody looks like rejects,
Oh God, we're gonna talk about this forever. We gotta wait. So they released 5 episodes on Valentine's Day or the
Yeah.
day before. 5 episodes last Friday, and then
Yeah.
they're gonna release another 5 next week. So once it's all done with, and we should at the end of the episode, folks, we'll talk about it. So you
It's on
can skip
Netflix,
it.
right?
Yeah, it's on
Yeah,
Netflix.
dude. Who
I'll-
are
we'll
you,
probably
dude?
watch
That's
it.
insane that you.
It's
haven't heard.
insane that you don't know what this is.
Dude. It was
Jeez.
like Tiger King. back
Yeah,
in
it
the
was
day.
like a Tiger
King.
Everybody was talking
Exactly.
about this.
Nick, just quickly, Nick, do you think, without watching the show, do you think love can be blind? If you're
Yes.
not blind? Yeah? Okay.
If you're not blind. I love that you had to qualify it like that.
One day my buddy was like, dude, if you're blind, yeah, how do you know if you're gay or not? I was like, oh shit. I don't know, man. I guess feel? I don't know. I have no idea. You're attracted
Well,
to one
you
voice
still
or
hear.
another? Huh?
You can still hear and, touch.
Yeah. Touch and feel, right?
I'm sure you'd figure it out. Figure out
You
your
determine
sexuality.
someone's gender by touching them.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of.
Speaking of Netflix, Cuphead show. I watched this as well, Bobby. How many episodes did you watch?
I think I watched
we-
half of them.
They're very short.
Yeah, they're like 15 minutes long. They're not
Yeah.
long at all.
Yeah.
So it
What do you guys
is. It's like a kid show,
Yes.
which I guess I kind of expected, but for a kid show, it's pretty good. Like the animation, of course, is cool, but the stories are just like the Mugman breaks his handle. Like that's an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've watched a lot of cartoons, and I've definitely noticed, like in the 70s, they took a template. Like if you watch any Scooby Doo, it's the exact same beats at the exact same time, just in different areas.
Yeah.
Like they take a template and they just do it every single week. And except for a few of them, like like the Jetsons maybe, or Wait Till My Father Gets Home, or maybe the Flintstones.
I've never even heard of that cartoon.
Wait Till Your Father Gets Home.
Never even heard of it.
Dude, classic. It was like, imagine Family Guy in the 70s, but not really Family Guy. It was like a sitcom, but animated, very poorly animated. But yeah, so I don't know. It in the 80s, cartoons were kind of like that as well. Yeah, there it is. Wait Till Your Father Gets Home.
Huh.
Yeah, watched a lot of that. Tom Bosley in the lead role there. Anyway, I don't know, man. Like I had a really hard time staying focused on this. Like I thought it was all right, but I was just like, this is for kids.
Yeah. I think there's a little bit of that, that whole like what Pixar introduced where like there's jokes in there for adults, but it's very hard to find in this. It's like
Yeah.
very, it's deeper. I don't know. You have to really look for it too.
Well, it's mostly like visual gags. It's like a lot of visual stuff.
slapsticky
Yeah.
stuff. All the stuff that was popular back then in those days.
Mhm.
But I think I was thinking about this. Obviously, the creative director of this game loves that art style, and how great is it for whoever that person is to like get licensed to actually bring an animated series that looks like that back. Although I gotta say, the game looks way better than the show.
It does. Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah, no, it's you can tell that the game is actually hand drawn, which like they went over in the documentary thingy. but like the show is obviously like CGI. It's not. It's
Yeah,
I mean, not CGI, but digitally drawn. It's not hand drawn.
it's almost like the backgrounds are made in the old school style, and then the characters are made in the modern style. But yeah, I mean, no reason not to check it out. But yeah, don't expect too much. Although, what was it, the first episode when the devil had his musical number? I was like, that was pretty cool. I was not expecting that, and I liked it. Anyways, I'm gonna get a drink while Bobby or Nick talks about Warthunder. That was Cuphead, the show.
Yeah. So every year I like to revisit Warthunder at least like once or twice a year, just to see how much it changes. Last time I revisited, there was a alien invasion event going on, and you can pilot UFOs and shit. Um, but yeah, no, now there is like I think there's 8 countries you can play as now, and they all have a varying amount of like tanks and ships and uh and airplanes and shit. What's even crazier now though is that there used to just only be one version of the sea combat, but now there's blue water navy and green water navy, which means like super big battleships and shit, and then like really small boats. And so uh, the game's expanded to say the least. However, what I will say is that it's become even more pay to win. So it kind of sucks to see that.
That's
Can you
unfortunate.
drift tanks?
Oh yeah, you can drift tanks. There's plenty of fast ass tanks to drift.
Now, I've only seen half the Fast and Furious movies. Was a tank ever involved in any of those movies?
I don't think maybe.
I haven't
There had
seen
to
any
be.
of those movies.
There's like
Are they
9,
worth seeing?
dude.
No.
Okay, perfect.
Short answer, no. Maybe the first one. Anyway, how many people are playing this game? Can you scroll down so we could take a look? I'm kind of curious because I know this is just a game that came out almost 10 years ago and yet has remained popular. 44,000 was today's peak.
And that's not counting the PS5. So it's backwards compatible to PS4 and that generation of consoles. It's Mac. It's on Epic and Game Pass and its own launcher. And so that's not counting I'm pretty sure that's not counting all the PlayStation players and shit too.
Can you just quickly go into why is it more pay to win now than before?
So the way that research, like the ratio it was calculated before, is not the same at all. It's a lot slower now. Essentially, if your team loses, the amount of research, which is the currency you use to upgrade your not upgrade, unlock more tanks, is essentially extremely hard to get unless you pay to boost your research. So
It's kind of like what mobile games use, or like a season pass, right, Nick?
yeah, kind of. So
You
their
boost your
excuse
XP.
for this game is that there's always events going on. But the thing is, like, some of those events require you to like play as certain planes or certain tanks or just certain vehicles in general. And if you don't have those vehicles, then you can't participate. And then some of those vehicles are hella hard to get or just take forever to get. So yeah, it's just, it sucks to see that it's so hard to get this game. Like it's not hard to see because before you used to be able to unlock 2, 3, 4 planes a day playing like 2 or 3 hours. Now it takes like 4 or 5 hours to unlock like one of the first tier or second tier tanks or something.
Don't
Like,
worry,
it just
Nick.
takes a minute.
We can unlock all content in the game for $192 Canadian. I'm checking
$892.
it out.
That's not even
892, guys.
Oh, what did I say?
192.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, 892.
$900 gets you everything.
By the way,
Well, not
that's not
everything.
even all the content. That's all the paid content in the sense of you're getting all the bonus vehicles that can be bought through game downloads. It's not the stuff that you have to grind to get.
You still have to
Like
grind for stuff?
like
Wait.
80% of the vehicles are like that.
Wait, you can't buy the V. What?
Let's
Can't
stop
just
talking about
buy
a
the
game that
vehicles. You
not
have
even
to
1%
pay-
of the listeners are going to play.
Yeah, you have to buy. I'm sorry, you have to pay money to buy research to be able to boost it, and so
Yeah, you lost
Like-
me at you have to pay money.
yeah, it's just it's not a good time.
All right.
Really quickly, I just remembered I made an in-game purchase. I did a microtransaction. I used the in-game currency in Magic the Gathering, Nick. I bought those crazy lands, the Kamigawa fucking
artwork
super.
lands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can get the whole set for 25,000 gold, which I had a bunch of gold because I play all the time, but I never have time to draft. So I was like, that is totally fucking worth it. Those lands, people are gonna be like, damn, look at that dude, right? I mean, they're
Oh yeah,
the
no,
best
people
lands
are
I've ever
hoarding those
seen.
lands in real life already.
What's that?
I said people are already hoarding those lands in real life.
So JP Diddy, listening to us talking about it, ordered a collector or whatever it's called, the more collector's edition box. So it's more expensive, and you only get a third of the cards, but everything in there is collector or foil. And he got a full set of them. He's gonna frame them. Like that's how they're fucking works of art. They're the best lands in 30 years.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Christian, I don't think that extension is called Steam Enhanced anymore. I think they changed the name of it. That's the extension that adds a bunch of features to Steam when you're browsing it.
Augmented Steam. Sorry, if you want to see.
Augmented Steam is and that's how we see the numbers of how many people are playing it. It pulls that data from SteamCharts.com, so you could just go there and look up a game too. Alrighty, did we get our audio working? Are we able to hear things now?
No, I'm broadcasting via screen, not via application, unfortunately. So it's going to have to be next episode.
I just saw it in the show notes. I was excited. That's okay. All right.
All right. So listen here, motherfuckers. Well, did we do our thing? Did we do our thank you already? No. Yes.
We have no one to thank. Oh, we didn't thank Billy Bob Jehovah for subbing, though.
Yeah, Billy Bob Jehovah, man. Thanks for the sub. Besides that, listen here, motherfuckers. Our patron, do you have our stuff, Nick? Or you, Chris?
What? This is going so poorly.
Yeah, I know. Where's our patron stuff? I don't think you heard me last week. We redid our shit so that you guys would all sign up, and nobody did. So here we go again. Shout out on the show for signing up. A green Discord name when you go to Discord. Periodical not safe for work episode access. And really, it's any kind of special episode that we do. View access to the episode show notes, which we do sometimes like while the show's going on. Like right now, I was just like DualSense controller, dude. So you'll have access to that. You could promote live on our Discord when you're streaming. You'll be at the top of the list. Entry into High Score Hall of Fame. Good luck catching up to those whales at the top. DLG Shield sticker pack. You get some shields, some stickers when you hit 3 months. A T-shirt when you hit 6 months. And you at 1 year you can fuck with us a little bit and make us play some bullshit or your favorite game. So
what's a measure of success?
What's
a
that?
measure of? I think
one would be great.
No. We should make a real shield. I mean, like in life, you know.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
This podcast. How do we know we're successful? We should have a real shield, a real DLG shield.
Yeah, man. We could send it over to one of those shows. There's so many fucking competitive reality shows now. We get Forged in Fire. Just like, hey, man, we were thinking about getting something for our show to represent. But yeah, sounds good. I could do. Let me sketch something up for you. You know that whole thing that you've seen a million times in all these shows. or maybe I'm the only one who watch all these things. But
Dude, I love Forge and Fire.
Yeah.
Like, when during the pandemic we discovered it, we're like, this is the greatest show to watch.
Bobby,
And
have you?
burn all of our extra time to.
I meant to ask you this. Have you got into Pawn Stars? Have you ever watched it or got into it?
No.
Like ages
I
ago.
think you would like it, man.
That's so
It's all
old, dude.
scripted, though.
It's all it's 100% scripted.
Yeah, but I enjoy it still. I don't
Okay.
care. Yeah.
How much is it?
Yes.
How much is it to support the show, Nick? How much does people give us on Patreon?
It's only $5 a month.
Only
So, like,
$5. Only $5.
All right, thanks, guys. Well, that's enough shilling. Even I, who is shameless, it starts to creep up my back when I'm shilling for myself.
All
Sweet
right.
kicks, by the way, Bobby.
Oh yeah, these ones are comfortable. Time for listener questions. Let's see if I can get the shoe in the shot here. There we go.
There you go.
can see it.
Super limber.
All right. First question comes from Scram TX. If you were a PC component, which one would you be? So last week we were eating PC components. This week we're gonna be one.
I think I'm going to be a power supply man.
Yeah.
I think I'm just
Yeah.
reliable.
What kind of wattage we
And
talking about?
Like,
Literally
I don't
the
know,
least
750.
reliable component.
What, are you kidding me? Dude, if you buy a good power supply, my power supply came with a 10-year warranty. If you buy a good power supply, that's going to last you like 3 builds, man. That should last you like
Damn.
15, 20 years.
Oh, yeah. No, but like I'm saying, I'm reliable.
Yeah,
Okay.
gold rated, titanium rated. What are we talking here?
I'm talking.
You got a silent mode?
No, I got a silver rating, and you don't know if it's legit because you bought me on Amazon, and I ain't Asus or Corsair or anything that you've ever heard of, but it's
Open
$25.
box from Amazon.
It's kind of a sus.
Yeah, no, definitely. What about you
Bobby?
guys?
I don't know, man. Probably a fan because I'm so cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shut up, dude. Shut up.
He's a CPU for sure, right?
Yeah, CPU because I do all the work.
Yeah, there you go.
Double stab.
I'm definitely RBG lights because like I bring all the attention, don't really do shit.
Perfect.
Yep.
Dude, did you know on PC Part Picker? I know everyone probably knows
Picka.
this. PC Part Picker. I know it's like a bit of a tongue twister there, but you can see if you look at a part, you can see like, oh, these people use this in their build, and like people will just post their builds. Like, here's some pictures, and here's some notes on what I did, and here's a list of all my parts. Like, it's super helpful, but you can also just kind of check out like what kind of rigs people are building. And I am really surprised, man. Like, people are really into the RGB, and I'm just like, how does anybody over the age of like 25 still build with RGB? Like, that's wild.
Hey, fuck you, man. I just built mine with RGB.
His whole room is RGB.
I know, man. It's like a discotheque in there.
Yeah.
All right, grandma.
Hey, it's more interesting than our rooms.
Well,
Honestly.
you don't sleep in that room, do you, Nick?
No, this is my office.
Okay.
This is like my
And
working
that's
space.
probably why you can get away with it.
Yeah.
All right. Christian, are you going to be a PC part here?
I don't know. No, I couldn't think of anything clever. And you guys are all, on the ball. I was going to say CD-ROM, but I don't know why. I just kind of
floppy
like how
disk
it goes in
drive?
and out.
It's something just completely outdated.
Yeah.
All right. 5 1/4 inch disk drive.
Way to bring down the show there, Chris.
Okay.
Right on time.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you are the GPU sniper because you handle the graphics of the show.
Yeah, you,
So true.
You create them live.
Look at that.
Oh,
Under the
thanks,
sun.
guys. Thank. Oh,
Dude, we're
the
like
GPU.
Megatron when we all combine.
I'm going to send you
And we
another.
completely extort you to any other people that want you.
I'm
So,
going to send you another copy of Cyberpunk, man. Just to
Oh,
show you how much-
dude, oh my, too much love, dude. Calm down. Don't marry me.
All right, next question is from Death. If one of you had an unlimited amount of money to start a gaming studio, what type of game would you develop?
How often do we answer this? Every 4 months?
Yeah, we get this one a lot.
It's good though. It changes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I said this last time, but I would like to see a Star Wars turn-based tactical game based on what's that new show that was on?
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
Bad Batch.
The
The
Bad
Bad
Batch.
Batch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's be honest, dude. All the money's going towards the Star Wars licensing here. You know, that's that's going to be pretty expensive.
So,
dude, the people who are making XCOM are making a Star Wars game.
I feel like I heard this.
For Axis?
I forget the developer, but I read an article and it was like XCOM developer has license for Star Wars. So it could be turn-based. And if it is the Bad Batch, you can get royalties.
Yeah, dude. We've got that recorded like 4 months ago. I said it on this podcast.
And now it's a thing. That happened to Stuff You Should Know podcast. Anybody ever heard it? Stuff You Should Know?
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah. They came up with Sharknado. Like years before it came out, and then somebody fucking took it and just made a movie out of it. He never got his royalties.
Wow.
Yep. So if it was just me and Christian starting a game development studio, it would definitely be like a twin stick shooter roguelike. Like that's what I know. It's easy. I mean, it looks easy, right? From the outside. It just looks like something you could throw together. You don't even have to do animations. You could just fucking have shit flying out of a guy. Anyway, so that's what I would do if it was like grassroots. But you said infinite amount of money. Why not an MMO? You know? Like, it's... Oof. God, you would need a huge team. Lots of good people, a lot of ideas. But, probably an MMO. Fuck it. If it's going to fail, it's unlimited money. It wasn't my money.
I don't know. Because Amazon technically has unlimited amounts of money, I feel like. And they made an MMO. And it worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
But still, I feel like MMOs can only go so far these days.
Yep.
I've been dreaming of have I told this? Can I get sweaty for 1 sec? Can I get sweaty? Can I tell you my plan?
Sure.
Okay. In Star Wars, they all share the same galaxy, right? It's a big galaxy far, far away.
Right.
But in the Star Wars universe, there was a secret trip called Outbound Flight. They're going to send a ship to another galaxy. I thought it would be cool to have an MMO about that. So you have all the Star Wars technology and you have Jedi, but you're not hindered by like places in the Star Wars universe. And then it could be a survival Star Wars game.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
A rebirth? Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Sure.
And
Like
as your
Andromeda.
players, you go with your friend and you play at the same time. You start in like a ship from Outbound Flight and you fall on a planet. It's kind of like No Man's Sky.
Yeah. And then you just take your lightsaber and you got to hack down a bunch of trees.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You just ruined it, Bobby. God damn it.
God damn it, dude.
Oh, boy. All right, next question from Hinks. What are your thoughts on the new Netflix Cuphead show, and do you have any other film, TV ideas based on games? We talked about
Cuphead. Nick, did you say what you developed?
Yeah, I said it was going to be an MMO. As far as like the topic, I think everyone can guess what it is.
Oh yeah, Warhammer MMO.
How do they not have a Warhammer MMO?
They did.
They did.
Well,
and it's terrible. It's fucking awful. But I would actually not make a Warhammer 40k MMO, only because the balancing would just be impossible. How do you let people play like custodies, which are equal to like 20,000 normal humans, while some people play like a guardsman, which just like farts and then dies of dysentery? So I would actually do Warhammer Fantasy, only because like you can learn stuff in the Warhammer Fantasy world. You can get stronger, and there's also a lot of things that people are already familiar with. Like there's goblins and orcs and all that, dwarves and shit. So everybody knows that kind of stuff. So I think that kind of universe, if it's really done well, if you get it kind of EverQuesty, where you truly have to grind, and like the game isn't really exploited by people like just getting super, super, super sweaty about the game, kind of like how New World was, where like if you just choose these two classes, like you're gonna do the maximum amount of damage possible. This is the fastest way to level up and all that stuff. As long as it doesn't get like that, then an MMO can succeed.
Well, New World did, and it did that, so it's completely opposite from what you just said. As far as what I would make a show out of.
Yeah, so a film or TV show based on a game. We get this one a lot too.
Yeah, but We've never.
They've really started
Isaac?
turning everything into games, or into shows now or movies.
Amelia, how would an Isaac show work?
I think I brought this up one time. I think it was. I said it was going to be like a web show, and then
Yeah, it'd have to be like super short,
yeah,
like a Adult Swim 10-minute runtime or something.
and I think I said that there was going to be like audience participation as far as like what items drop and what synergies come out for that episode. Yeah, that's what I had thought of.
You know what I was thinking the other day was they've made movies about Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, you know, these fighting games. Have they ever made a TV show? Because I feel like that type of transition of a fighting game to
Like live
to
action?
video would be better suited for TV than film. Because the problem with the movies is you've got this ensemble cast you're trying to cram into like what, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it's a lot to do. And it never really quite works, and you got to get all the fight scenes in. If you just let it breathe, stretch it out, make it episodic, I think it would work a lot better. But
It worked for Cobra Kai. That's fucking
Yeah.
super popular, and it's
Yeah,
just a
but-
fight about fighting.
yeah, but Cobra Kai doesn't have like 24 different characters
It
that
does.
they have to.
There's a lot, dude.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
at least 20. Yeah.
Wow.
Do you guys think a Divinity Original Sin, is there any potential for like expanded media on that?
Dude, you could put
Mm,
anything. I think you could put any IP in there and it would work. Just plug and play
in where?
Yeah.
into that, like what they.
Mechanic.
Or you
built.
could turn
Like
that into anything.
that
Yeah.
game mode.
I mean, the
like that.
problem is it's just, you know, your typical high concept fantasy. So, I mean, it's not really like it's going to be, I
Unique.
don't know. It's like, oh, they should make a Grand Theft Auto movie. Yeah, they already did. It's called Pulp Fiction. You know, it's like, I don't know if they could really turn it into something that unique other than the Divinity name, you know? Like that would be the only thing it
If
has
Larian
going for it.
Studios did fucking Star Wars in the mechanics of, that would be the greatest thing ever. Of course it would be.
But you're talking about a movie or TV show based on Divinity. That's what
Oh,
we're
is that
talking
what
about.
you were talking about?
I thought that's
Yeah.
what,
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I was
yeah, like a
misunderstanding.
series. Oh, but a turn-based Star Wars, dude, you're getting me excited.
Yeah. I was thinking,
I think we're talking about shows.
yeah.
You
What's yours?
know what I was thinking as far as the show goes. What would you guys think of like like something in the Fallout universe, but instead of a continuous story, it would be like vignettes, like kind of like how World War Z is originally told in the books,
Yeah.
where it's like just a bunch of small stories, maybe like 30-minute to like an hour-long episodes, and it's just like you
I
can
don't
do
know.
that like how the
Gotta
war
stop you
started.
right there, dude. Post-apocalyptic's been done to death.
Love it. Love it. I would take it all day.
Not futuristic post-apocalyptic, where they're like, you know, you have all the cool shit with the nuclear.
By the way,
cars.
your favorite movie ever is post-apocalyptic.
Well, it's not my favorite movie ever, but
I
yeah.
thought it was. I
Mad
said-
Max Fury Road?
You said
It's
gun
one
to
of
my
the-
head.
it's
You said
one-
gun to my head. Mad Max, right?
I don't know. I don't really have a favorite movie,
Oh,
but that's definitely
jeez.
up there. Yeah.
Oh, geez, just say it's
But-
your favorite movie. The newest one or the old one?
The newest one.
The new one.
Oh yeah, that's a banger, dude.
Stone Cold classic.
Bobby's movies are like his children. Can't pick a favorite.
Cannot play favorites. Although there's some real stinkers out there. All right. So did we all
Did you watch those Italian movies, Bobby? Or have you
No, I have
changed your opinion on the Italian? No.
not. No, I've been making a concerted effort or a focused effort to watch only movies that are on my watch list on Letterboxd. So, yeah, because I've realized, like, dude, I got like 80 movies here, and I keep watching like other ones. Why am I even adding these here if I'm not going to watch them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good. Yeah. Listen to yourself. All right. Speaking for Christian,
Hey, whoa,
what's
whoa.
everyone-
Do you want to do the
Oh.
Do you want to do the recap, or do you want me to do it?
I think we mentioned each name multiple times. I don't think we have to do the recap. If you feel like you want to do it, go for it.
No, usually we talk about what we're going to play next week at this.
Do it, Nick. But do it fast, really fast,
No,
as
I
fast
can't
as
do
you
it
can.
really fast.
No,
Let's just talk
that's
about what
the
we're
fun
gonna play
part.
next week. Oh, by the way, the game of the week is Total War Warhammer. Of course, I've already fucking played it for 15 hours, but I'm going to play another 15 hours. We're also plugging our multiplayer game that we're going to be streaming. Is it every Tuesday or Thursday, Chris?
Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, so we're going to be streaming that. come catch that live action. Yeah, I'm going to be the Ogre Mercenaries.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to be playing Warhammer this week. Bobby?
Warhammer. I kind of want to check out Diplomacy is not an option. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do it.
Excuse me, you're contractually obligated to play the game of the weeks. I don't see what...
I'm
it's free.
sure I'll get to that, but I don't
You didn't
know.
get to it this week, Bobby.
I'm procrastinating because I'm a pro.
I'll tell you this. It's not bad. Although, I had a lot of launch issues. A lot. It doesn't even find out, it doesn't know what your native resolution is. Yeah, I had a bunch of issues. I had to restart a bunch of times. Got it going, but yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, every time I click continue campaign, some of my settings get reset. But
I'm sure
whatever.
that seems like things will patch out in a few weeks.
Mhm.
It's going to be
He's just padding the excuses for when he loses in our multiplayer game already.
yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It's going to be everyone versus me. I know it. Regardless.
We know what you're going to be playing. Chris, do you even play video games?
No, I just kind of sit around and move a pencil back and forth over here. Nothing special.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
Playing Star Wars Galaxies.
Wow, Rianne was looking at you. She was like, "What do you do?" And then she heard you and she walked away. Dude.
She's like, hurry up, hon. We don't want to die in a snowstorm, don't you know?
Oh yeah, that's right. All right, let's get out of here. We don't want him to. Jesus, if you die, it's gonna be awful, dude. They're gonna play this video at your funeral. All
It
right,
would kind of be funny. It would be funny.
dark comedy. Speaking for Chris, Nick, myself, and Amanda not being here, and Bobby. Oh, I didn't even think of us. Chinook tits. Chinook boobs sounds better. A lot of oohs. I might be drunk.
Bobby, you free to play For the King today?
For the king!
Yeah, actually I am.
All right,
No
cool.
work
Once you're
tomorrow.
home, me and Leslie are down.
All right.
I'm kind of feeling myself if you couldn't tell, but yeah.
All right.